Hello students of class 6. Today I will continue the chapter weather and climate. Open page number 57. Open page number 57. First of all, today I will start from Earth's albedo. Albedo. What is Earth's albedo? 34% of the solar radiation. Out of 100% of the incoming solar radiation, 34% is reflected back to the space without hitting the Earth's surface. 100% coming, 34% return back to the space without hitting our Earth's surface. These 34% of this incoming solar radiation that return back to the space is known as Earth's albedo. Okay? Now, what is effective 34 or 35? In some book it is 34, in your book it is 35. So, I will write here 35. The rest 51% of the solar radiation is reach the Earth's surface and hit the Earth's surface. This is called effective solar radiation. Okay. So, what is Earth's albedo? 34% or 35% of the incoming solar radiation is reflected back to the space without hitting the Earth's surface. This is known as Earth's albedo, and the remaining 51% that reach the Earth's surface and hits off the Earth's surface, this is known as effective solar radiation. Now, there are three ways of hitting the Earth's surface. The three ways of hitting the Earth's surface are: number 1, radiation. The three ways of hitting the Earth's surface are: number 1, radiation, conduction, and convection. These are the three ways of hitting the Earth's surface. What is radiation? Radiation is the process by which heat of the sun first reach the Earth's surface. The heat of the Earth is returned further radiated to the lower atmosphere. In case of radiation, heat can pass through vacuum or particle-less medium. Now, what is conduction? Conduction is a process by which heat is transferred by the process of contact. And convection. Convection is a process by which heat is conveyed from one part to the another part by the movement of the heated substances. These are the three processes by which the Earth's surface gets heated. Okay? Now go to next page. What are the factors influencing air temperature? This part, see, there are 1, 2, 3. 3 points are given. These 3 points, in this question, you have to prepare for 5 marks. So, beside these factors, write down important for 5 marks answer. Write down important 5 marks. First factor is, what are the factors for variation of air temperature? You know that air temperature is not equal everywhere. Some parts of the Earth's surface receive maximum rainfall, while some parts receive very little rainfall. So, what are the causes behind this variation of air temperature? First is insolation. The first factor of variation of air temperature is insolation. The first factor is insolation. Insolation means incoming solar radiation. What is the meaning of insolation? Insolation means incoming solar radiation. If the amount of insolation is more, then the temperature of that place will increase more. If the amount of insolation is less, then the area will receive with heats of less. So, the first and foremost factor for temperature variation is insolation. The next factor factor is latitude. This is our earth, this is equator, this is sun. The equatorial region receives the direct ray of the sun, whereas the polar region receives the slanting rays of the sun. As the equatorial region receives the direct ray of the sun, the direct rays hits up, this is the direct ray, this is slanting ray. The direct rays hits up more than the slanting ray. Now, why the direct rays hits up more than the slanting ray? Because direct ray falls directly and they travels a short distance, and as they travels the short distance, the rate of absorption by dust particles and other particles is comparatively less, whereas the slanting rays travel a long distance, and as they travel a long distance, the rate of absorption by dust particles and water vapor is more. So, the heating capacity for the slanting rays is comparatively less than that of direct rays. So, the places which receive slanting rays, their temperature is comparatively less than that of the places which receives direct rays. Chennai is near the Kolkata, so the temperature of Chennai is more than Kolkata because Chennai is located near the equator than Kolkata. Next is altitude. Altitude means height. The very important factor for variation of air temperature is altitude. Altitude means height. Altitude is another important factor, and this factor I will explain in the next video. Thank you, class.